Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists out of pointless things. Why are we flying by this pointless statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin.
10.
Number 10 are these ships that are shipwrecked by Darkshore, and the only reason I picked them is because there's murlocs on them. There's nothing special about them. They have murlocs on them. There's a banner of, I think, a night elf or something, but I really only cared about the murlocs.
9.
For number 9, we have to go to the Dark Moon Fair, and it's down here right off the harbor or dock or whatever it is. And there's the ship. The ship has been wrecked, and I have no idea how the ship got wrecked. I imagine it just crashed into one of these rocks, and then it was just done from there. But I didn't even know there was a shipwreck by the Dark Moon Fair, so I learned something.
8.
Number 8 is right off the shores of Gromgal Base Camp, and it's these two boats that have been capsized or shipwrecked. I don't know what it is, but I don't know how they got there. I guess they were taken down by the Gromgal Base Camp or something, because I've looked pretty close and I was like, is that the same Night Elf logo I saw by the Darkshore boats? It almost looks like it, but I can't really make it out. I'm not sure. If somebody knows, leave it in the comments, but I looked around and I couldn't find anything about it, so I'm just going to assume those boats taken out by Gromgal that were Alliance, but I don't know.
7.
Number 7 is off the coast of Darkshore yet again. We're swimming by all these murlocs. We already talked about you murlocs. You can get over it. And there's this boat. You can see the boat. Not the top right boat, the bottom left boat. And there's a thing in it. And you're like, what is that? And you realize that's a pencil. It's got a little eraser. It's got the top of it's a little pencil thing. And then I thought, what person at Blizzard puts a random pencil in the game? Why would you put a pencil?
6.
Number 6 is this boat I found randomly in Azshara, but it's weird because it's in the land. It's not like on the beach, like by the water. It's literally in the land on a rock. Like, why is that? Did it get stuck on the rock and then over time the sand engulfed it? Like, I don't know. I don't know how these things work. I'm not an archaeologist. I haven't trained archaeology. I might have, and I got to like level 40, but that's besides the point.
5.
Number 5 are the ships crashed along Durotar by Tiragard Keep, and these were manned by the Kulturos for a long time. Apparently, Admiral Dalen Proudmoore, the father of Jaina Proudmoore, led all his soldiers here, or they came here after he died. It was something like that. I read about it, and I actually thought it was going to be from Warcraft 3, where all the Horde ships crashed, and I was like, yeah, why would it be the Horde ships if we had to go loot their stuff, and there was an Alliance base there? It made no sense, but in my mind it did, and so it's number 5. So there's some lore history. I learned a lot about Dalen Proudmoore.
4.
Number 4 had to be Vazjir, and that's because it was just such a giant shipwreck that happened. You even got to witness it happening. And just look at that, there's all the destruction that was caused by that giant squid that came out on top of all the people fighting. But I mean, I tried to go and do the quest, but for some reason it wasn't working, and it did that thing where you go back and then the ship appears and you go forward and you're like, hey, I can get on the ship. And then you're like, nope, it's gone now. Because I couldn't get the quest, I couldn't find the quest. I looked on the board, whatever, I don't care. You know what it is, just go look up Vazjir opening quest. This is the high quality entertainment you get on this program.
3.
Number 3 is in Thousand Needles in the old Shimmering Flats, and it's the whale that crashed through and is now at the bottom of Shimmering Flats. And this isn't a ship, but I mean, he's bigger than a ship, and he managed to flood the entire Thousand Needles. So, you know what? He gets number 3 for just being a whale. This is my pointless show. I can do what I want.
2.
Number 2 is this shipwrecked ship in the Howling Fjord, and I like saying that, shipwrecked ship. It's literally in the fjord. It's hanging there, and it is completely destroyed. It is burning, and if there's a shipwrecked ship, this ship is wrecked. This is a wrecked ship, and that's why I put it at number 2, because it is literally a ship that is burning and being wrecked as we speak. And it's really pretty all around it.
1.
And number 1 goes to the ships on the Forgotten Shore, and that's because behind them is a lot of lore. Well, I just rhymed without even knowing. Okay. So what happened here is, if you haven't played Warcraft 3, you can go check out my playthrough. Okay, shameless plug over. Arthas chased Melganis to Northrend after he destroyed Stratholme and a bunch of stuff. And he was like, alright, I'm gonna get Melganis. And they were like, Arthas, you're dumb. Uther and his dad, the king, were like, come back home, Arthas. We don't want you to do that. And he was like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fight Melganis. And so he hired mercenaries to go burn and destroy all the ships. Well, all the people were like, hey, what are you doing, Arthas? You're burning the ships with all those mercenaries. And he's like, I didn't do anything. They did it all. I was confronting them. And they were like, whoa, get the mercenaries. So they killed all the mercenaries and all the ships were destroyed. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And then he goes off and finds Frostmourne and all that stuff. So because of that, all those people pretty much ended up dying. And if you do the quest there, they say things like the ghost people that are there now. There's like forgotten captains and ghosts that used to be in his army, and they say things like, you gave us your word, betrayer, or you lying wretch, Arthas, you doomed us all, or our lives were worth far more than your blood feud. So because of that, there's a lot of story and history behind this specific crash, and it involves an entire expansion. So that's number 1. Thanks for watching. Woo.